Try to maintain that good plank position the entire time, and just before you pick the weight up every time, tighten your stomach up extra tight so you avoid any hip twists. So what you're doing right now is perfect. Then you're going to hit around 24. Doesn't have to be exact, just get in that medium rep range. So you should have about 10 more pulls. Just imagine a perfect dumbbell row where you're driving your elbow up towards the ceiling and you don't want to feel like you're rushing it through the row part. Your position is great. I mean, that's a good plank. A lot of times people get too low on the planks. You want to stay up so you can actually flex your stomach. Okay, rest. And then smile. Okay. Second move, dumbbell push press. Slight squat, just to add a little bit of momentum to the shoulders. That'll help them be explosive, and it'll just lighten the load a little bit for you too. And it's always a controlled negative, so you get the negative benefit from that shoulder press. And just remember, one thing that people do wrong is they just pop their knees out to initiate the squat. Instead of doing that, you want to pop your butt back. So it's all about sitting back into it. There you go. And that's usually something that you really have to think about. Otherwise, you will just act like you're doing the limbo and you'll just pop your knees out in front. You want to avoid that. So 12 is going to be the rep number. Okay, and those look good. 12, yep. So then just remember, just initiate it. You want to walk up to it so it's like in between your feet before you start. And it's always coming down somewhere in between your feet. And just initiate it at the hips always, so it's always a sit back motion. There's never any point about it that pops the knees forward. And just maintain that tightness throughout your back too. So right here, just make sure that that's tight the whole time. Pull that back. Almost like you're trying to pull your shoulder blades back and down a little bit. Yeah, and your deadlift form is really nice. I mean, it's basically perfect. Get the chest towards the mirror, which is good. Shoulder blades back. You started at the hips. You're not afraid to lean over a little bit and bend your knees. Once you're hitting around that 12, we'll shut it down. Okay, so we have an upper back focused dumbbell row, which means that you are trying to flare your elbow out. If you're trying to hit your lats more, you wouldn't be doing that. But you have that need to hit the upper back, and that's what you're doing. So flare the elbow out, pull up. Right now you're hitting your right side back, upper back. So try to take that right shoulder blade and pull it over towards your left shoulder blade or towards your spine. Then you have an arched back the whole time. That's what I want to see too. You got that going on. And 12, right in that medium rep range, that's the number. Okay, so those look really good. We'll just maintain that same form for the left. So you flare the elbow out, and you can feel like it's an exaggerated flare. You know, really try to pop it straight out the side of your body, and that's really going to mimic like a rear delt fly or a face pull. Just something that's going to target that upper back more than anything else. Yeah, these are looking really good. Try to keep your stomach tight and try to keep your back arched, because you want to avoid a lot of twist. Let your back do the work, not your obliques. And if you have all those tips in check, you don't have to go heavy to actually hit the right spot. Okay, feeling fine?
Yeah, this side seems weaker.
Okay. So we're gonna hit leg raises on the bench. So what you're gonna do is, you're gonna reach behind you and actually like grab the bench by your ears. Yeah, about right there. So So you can see that your low back is kind of off the bench now. You're going to want to fight that throughout. Yeah, so you're going to tuck it down, and then you're just going to pull your legs back up about as far as you can. And we'll start with that simple variation. Now, okay, so not that far, just about right there. So I want you to feel like you're pinning your low back to the bench the whole time. So you don't think about the arch, you think about the opposite, like a scared cat. You want to have like a hump in your back. That's just important for back safety. And since you are on the bench, you want to imagine that you're still on the floor, so when you come down, your feet don't go through the floor. Now, does that feel easy for you?
Yeah.
Okay, so once you get to the very top of this next one, try to just push your feet straight up as high as you can, lifting your butt off the bench. There you go. And then just bring it down slow. When you bring it down, try not to let your legs fall back like that. So just think straight up. There you go. Try to knock out like about 4 or 5 of those to finish here. Yeah, so that's what you want to do. Your feet or your legs, they don't really have to get past that vertical point. So once you're vertical, then drive it up. Try to keep it vertical, bring it back down. You should have one more. There you go. Okay, rest. Okay, second move, push-ups. Start it up. Get into that good plank position that you're already in. And that means that you would imagine a line from your heel to your shoulder, and your hips or your quads would stay above that line. So it's good to be a little bit high as opposed to dip. Anytime you want to go. There you go. So you got that controlled negative and then the explosive positive. Think about all the pressing muscles. That means triceps, front delts, and pecs, or the chest. When you're coming down, if you were to hit the floor, the only thing that would hit would be the chest. And that just illustrates the point that you want to keep the hips up a little bit. Most people keep them too low, and their push-ups just get real bad as a result. You shouldn't have too many more. Okay, so that's good. All right, so what we have here, now when you do that, your arms are always going to be straight. So right now they're straight out in front of you. Okay, now you're gripping too far apart. You're going to start with your arms straight out in front with not a whole lot of slack. Yeah, there you go. Let's start with that. And then to see if you can pull it straight back apart, you're going to bring the band so it hits your upper chest, which is just what you did there. And you're going to try to just keep your range of motion or your path parallel with the floor. So basically that just means trace a line that's in line with the floor or parallel with the floor as you go through the motion. And then once again, just like during that deadlift, you get the crease down the middle of your back. And that's the whole point. You're trying to like create that cleavage down the middle of your back. Focus on pulling those shoulder blades together. You're going to feel the rear delts quite a bit. That's the back of your shoulder. And fight it on the way out. Be semi-explosive on the way back. And I just say semi-explosive because you want to be able to focus and feel what's working the entire time. This is really like a big feel exercise. If you want to increase the resistance, you just hold your hands closer together. Leave less slack in between your hands. You'll know that it's too tough if you feel like you have to bend your arms when you're doing it though. Okay, and that's about 12. Yeah, there you go. So this is all about really like this is basically just mimicking a reverse hyper, which is going to hit the glutes. It's going to hit the low back a little bit, and it's going to work your core quite a bit because anything that requires stabilization really works your core. But as far as what you're thinking about glutes here. The glutes will work to pop the straight legs up, and that's one key tip too, is to keep your legs straight. It does you no good to bend those legs. So you just explode up, flex the glutes, keep a tight grip because you want to stay balanced, you don't want to fall off. You shouldn't have too many more, you should just have maybe 1 or 2 left. Okay, nice. Nice breathing at the end too. That was good.